Coming up on BCN today, Lethbridge City Council votes to ban conversion therapy. Plus, another 185 Canadians arrive from China for a 2-week quarantine. And a special prom night held to celebrate those with disabilities.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Another 185 Canadians arrived at CFB Trenton, Ontario this morning on a flight from Wuhan, China. They too will spend 2 weeks in quarantine to make sure they don't have a case of the new coronavirus. The latest figures out of China put the number of dead at 1,016. The World Health Organization is holding a meeting to discuss ways to slow the outbreak of the virus and how to fast-track tests, drugs, and vaccines. A video has surfaced on social media showing people in China who refuse to self-quarantine being forcibly taken away from an apartment. The incident occurred in the city of Kunshan. Have a look. There are over 40,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, most of them in China. So far, there are no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Alberta, and across Canada, there have been 7 confirmed cases. Lethbridge City Council accepted a motion brought forth by Councillor Jeff Carlson to prohibit conversion therapy. The practice aims to change a person's sexual orientation through counseling, behavior modification, or religious teachings.
I want to send my heartfelt appreciation out to Councillors Carlson and Councillors Mirashiro for putting their names behind this, moving this forward. I want to thank everyone who voted against it. And I think it's a shame that there were some votes against the second part of the resolution. I think the science is out there, the evidence is there. In this day and age, being a member of the LGBTQ2+ community is no longer considered a mental illness. So to be arguing about why we shouldn't be standing up for protections for everyone in 2020, over 50 years after homosexuality was decriminalized, it's a shame.
Edmonton, St. Albert, and Vancouver have already banned the practice. Calgary is looking at doing the same. And in December of last year, Federal Justice Minister David Lametti received his mandate letter from Prime Minister Trudeau that included instructions to amend the criminal code to ban the practice. Conversion therapy is a hot-button topic in many regions across the country. Bridge City News is producing a 1-hour special on the topic. We've interviewed many people on both sides of the issue. Here's a sneak peek of what you can expect.
Surgery doesn't solve anything. Hormones don't solve anything.
There is no proof anywhere in the world that conversion therapy works no matter what your age is.
I wanted it to believe that I could be accepted by my staff.
The problem was not the fact that they were treating those issues, it is the way they were treating those issues.
Let's take this federal. We can ban it in Alberta. It's being banned in a few other provinces. Let's ban it all at once.
And frankly, that's what they're doing in Edmonton. They now have, through this bylaw, an opportunity to go into churches and regulate how you pray.
A parent now is handcuffed in the treatments they're allowed to pursue for their child.
It's not trying to force someone to be something that they are not.
They are dealing with a very significant emotional trauma.
Watch for the 1-hour BCN special on conversion therapy coming soon. That will be right here on Bridge City News. Lethbridge police have charged a 33-year-old man in connection with an incident where a woman was sexually assaulted after he gave her a ride home and later broke into her residence while she slept. According to police, last Friday night, an 18-year-old woman went to a bar, met a man, and suddenly felt ill. He offered to drive her and her friend to their homes. After taking the 18-year-old inside, he left the residence. A short time later, he returned, entered the home, and sexually assaulted her. 33-year-old Sohail Bindra, also known as Tony Sohail, has been charged, and he's scheduled to appear in court on March the 2nd. Today marks Worldwide Safer Internet Day, and Lethbridge Police and the Lethbridge Sexual Violence Action Committee are calling on everyone to join together in helping to create a better online experience and help prevent child luring by recognizing the vulnerability of children and to understand the tactics used by online predators. Police say members of the public can teach young people not to respond to messages that make them uncomfortable and show them how to delete and block messages and encourage them to tell a safe adult in their life. An Alberta man who was found guilty of killing 3 people, including a father and his 2-year-old daughter, wants one of his convictions thrown out. Belfour Durr told an appeal court in Calgary that his client, Derek Soretsky, never should have been convicted in the death of 69-year-old Hannah Mekatek because his rights were breached when police improperly took his confession. Soretsky was also convicted of first-degree murder in the killings of Terry Blanchette and Blanchette's 2-year-old daughter, Haley Dunbar Blanchette, in the Crow's Nest Pass. Durr said Soretsky wasn't told about his right to speak to a lawyer when he made his confession, but Crown Prosecutor Christine Rideout argued that he had received instructions about his rights numerous times on previous occasions. The Chinook Regional Hospital Foundation will launch its annual Care from the Heart radio telethon this Thursday from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. in the Chinook Regional Hospital atrium. 6 local radio stations will have live broadcasts throughout the day, highlighting the impact donors have made at Chinook Regional. The goal of this year's event is to raise $250,000. Since its inception, the Care from the Heart Day Radiothon has raised over $2 million. In the past year, the foundation has dispersed more than $1.6 million in support of state-of-the-art healthcare equipment, vital programs, and special projects. Canadian figure skating legend Kirk Browning made a stop in our city over the weekend. The 4-time world champion put on a display of talent and led a couple of skating seminars for the Lethbridge Figure Skating Club.
The inspiration, you can see the kids trying harder, especially being today day 2 of the seminar. You see that they're building on what they've learned from yesterday with him, which is fantastic to see. He's really looking for the direction from the skaters as to where they want to go. Do they want to do more choreography? Do they want to do more jumps and spins and have his feedback? So every session has been a little bit different, but the theme of it has been build on what you know and make it better.
Browning was the first skater to ever land the ratified quadruple toe loop jump in competition at the 1988 World Champions. Lethbridge College held its Winter Open House over the weekend, giving prospective students the chance to meet with instructors and to make plans for their post-secondary careers.
Our open houses are really beneficial for any type of student who's considering and going to college or just exploring any post-secondary education. Our open houses have all of our different program areas that are on display. So we have over 55 different programs that are on display, all equipped with all of our instructors. So all of them bring a wealth of knowledge. You can sit down, ask them about their programs, get to know who they really are and what to expect in classes. We have a lot of interactive tours and labs happening throughout the day as well. Tuition really ranges depending on what program that you enroll in, but most of our students can expect to pay per semester about $3,000 to $4,000.
Over 5,000 students are enrolled at Lethbridge College, including a number of seniors. Prime Minister Trudeau is traveling to Dakar, Senegal, as part of an 8-day trip that has also taken him to Ethiopia and Kuwait, where he visited with Canadian troops at an airbase. The Prime Minister says he knows 2020 has been a rough start for our troops and thanked our soldiers for fighting Islamic extremists.
One of the things that I know your families were certainly worried about, but all Canadians were worried about, was your safety when things heated up around here. And I know that you are all trained to deal with the situations. It's the careers you chose, it's the professionalism you have, it's the abilities you have. But a lot of Canadians who always think about you, we're specifically thinking about your safety, and thankful for you being here. And there was always a few questions of okay, well, remind us again why Canadian troops are in the Middle East right now. It is because we have been, as a country, essential in the efforts to defeat Daesh.
Trudeau also met with various African leaders over the weekend, including the president of Somalia. He took a moment to remember the victims, including 18 Canadians of last spring's deadly plane crash in Ethiopia.
I know that Ethiopians and Canadians will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder in good times and in bad. Because whether it's the vibrant Ethiopian Canadian community back home or the entrepreneurs who work together across an ocean, we can rely on each other. Our government will continue to lead on combating plastic pollution, just like we will continue to lead on addressing climate change. In fact, Canada will provide funding to the World Bank for climate resilience and new support for women, which attests to the strength of our commitment.
On Friday, Trudeau will attend a security conference meeting in Munich. The PM is using the trip to promote trade and to lobby for Canada to get a temporary seat on the UN Security Council. Abortion is legal in Canada, but it's still a hot-button topic for many in our country. That was especially true when people in Lethbridge complained about seeing anti-abortion ads on bus benches, which were taken down. Carol Crossan is a Calgary constitutional lawyer who is representing Lethbridge and District Pro-Life. She says the city brought down the ads for the wrong reasons.
One of the ads was, "Birth did not transform me into a child." The city said that that ad was inaccurate because the law doesn't count a fetus as a child. And so the question at the hearing was, well, what does the law say? And in the criminal code does say that a fetus is a child. And when it's born, under 223 of the criminal code, it becomes a human being. And so it was difficult to address that in the hearing because the city had given a wrong answer on the law and refused the ad for the wrong reason.
Calgary constitutional lawyer Carol Crossan will have more on their battle with the city of Lethbridge coming up in the second half of our show. Well, we have a 30% chance of showers or flurries today and wind, lots of wind gusting to 50 km this afternoon. Full weather details are coming up right after the break. Stay with us. And welcome back. Here's a look at our weather highlights for today and tomorrow in Lethbridge. Today, we do have a 30% chance of showers or flurries later on this afternoon and winds gusting to 50 km. The high today is 4 degrees, overnight low -9, and into tomorrow -5 with also a chance of flurries. Now, looking ahead to the 5-day forecast, lots of sunshine coming at us on Thursday with high of 6 degrees. We're going to stay in those plus ranges as well for the rest of the week. 3 degrees is the high on Friday with also a chance of flurries. Lots of sunshine on Saturday, high 5 degrees, and then scattered clouds for Sunday and Monday with highs of 1 and 2 degrees for those days. So the almanac tells us the highs and lows this time of year should be around 1 for the high and -11 for the low. We're definitely higher than that range, especially coming up this week. 16 was the highest temperature on this day. That was in 2005, and -27 was the chilliest day back in 1985. The sun rose this morning at 7:49 a.m. and it will set at 5:42 p.m. Okay, so let's take a look across the nation for the highs today, starting on the west coast. Victoria, high 10. Vancouver's high today, 7 degrees. Both of those cities will see a chance of showers. Flurries are expected up in Edmonton with a high of 1 degree and a chance of showers and flurries in Calgary with a high of 6 degrees today. Snow expected for the rest of Saskatchewan as well. Saskatoon's high -2, -1 expected in Regina with flurries for both of those cities. Winnipeg's high is a little bit higher than what it normally has been for this time of year. -2 is their high. They're going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Scattered clouds also expected in Toronto with a high of 3 degrees. Ottawa's high 2 degrees and -3 is the high expected today in Montreal. Both Montreal and Ottawa should be seeing a chance of flurries today as well. So over in Atlantic Canada, Fredericton's high 1, same thing for Halifax. Both of those cities could see some snow today. Possible showers also in Fredericton. Mix of sun and cloud over in Charlottetown with a high of -1. -1 also expected in St. John's today. They could see quite a bit of snow as well. There you go. That is your weather. Here is your community calendar.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. The Kinsman Club of Lethbridge invites you to their 6th annual Mardi Gras Charity Gala on Saturday, March 14th at the Sandman Signature Lethbridge Lodge. The evening begins at 5 p.m., where you can enjoy the ambiance of the French Quarter, which will also feature a 5-course Cajun meal, games and entertainment, a silent auction, dance, and much more. Early bird tickets are $72 and can be purchased at eventbrite.ca. Proceeds to go towards the Ready, Set, Go Back to School Fair. For details, visit the Kinsman Club of Lethbridge's Facebook page. Southern Alberta Men's Ministry is hosting Shine Be the Light Men's Conference on March 20th and 21st at University Drive Alliance Church. emceeing the conference is our very own BCN's Hal Roberts, with special guest speaker Pastor Leonard Anderson of Emmanuel Baptist Church in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tickets are $20, $10 for college students. Price includes food, fun, and fellowship. Purchase yours by visiting eventbrite.ca. For more information, call 403-327-4422. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Today's daily life hack is for those early risers that still enjoy a good breakfast or just love bacon. In those strips of bacon, you know how they're usually so firmly pressed together that you can't separate them without tearing or shredding them? Well, to help break them up, this strip-to-strip adhesion, roll the package gently between your hands, first one way and then the other way before opening it. The bacon strips will then separate easily before placing each strip directly onto the frying pan. You'll notice no tearing, which will let you cook up your bacon without any fuss or muss. There you go. That's been your daily life hack. If you're a movie buff, you might have been glued to your TV screen on Sunday night like I was to watch the 92nd Annual Academy Awards. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite became the first non-English language film to win Best Picture at the Oscars. Acting awards went to Joaquin Phoenix, Renee Zellweger, Brad Pitt, and Laura Dern. Here's your Associated Press Showbiz Minute.
AP Showbiz Minute. Bong Joon-ho's class satire Parasite has become the first non-English language film to win Best Picture in the 92-year history of the Academy Awards. Parasite took Hollywood's top prize in Los Angeles on Sunday night, along with awards for Best Director, Best International Film and Best Screenplay. Bong's giddy, increasingly incredulous acceptance speeches and the warmly raucous reception he received were emblematic of an Oscar night that turned out to be much more inclusive and joyous than expected. Joaquin Phoenix's visceral turn in Joker earned his first Oscar, while Renee Zellweger completed a Hollywood comeback, winning Best Actress for her role as Judy Garland in Judy. In the Best Supporting categories, Brad Pitt won his first acting Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, while Laura Dern collected her first for Marriage Story. On the red carpet, showbiz royalty went for classic looks and old Hollywood glamour. Spike Lee paid tribute to Kobe Bryant in a Lakers purple jacket. This is Lizzie Knight with AP Showbiz Minute.
Each year, a special prom night event is held to celebrate people with special needs. It's the brainchild of Christian athlete and former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow. Loris Alexander took in a very special night to shine at Victory Church in Lethbridge and has the details.
The 6th annual Tim Tebow Night to Shine took place Friday night, with cities all over the world taking part, including my Victory Church in Lethbridge.
It's big for our hearts because we love the opportunity to get to honor those people in our community and within our families and the people that we know and love.
The event was started to give young people with special needs an opportunity to experience a prom and be treated like royalty. But more than anything, all the kings and queens, including a member of parliament, really enjoyed one thing.
I have been known to go out on the dance floor and, of course, take lots of photos with people. They enjoy that as well. And more than anything, I just like complimenting people and being a part of celebrating who they are.
It's fun watching people dance and just have fun.
My favorite part, well, I just do this and this and do that and that.
What's your favorite part?
Me.
Oh, him. What about dancing on the stage?
Dancing on the stage.
Nice to have a dance like this. Not many probably haven't gone to grad or anything. And so this is a great experience for everybody.
There was even a surprise proposal.
It lighted up my life. Like I didn't know this was coming, so.
I wanted everybody to be welcome to it.
It seems like a lot of hard work put into this event. Will it be the last year?
Not at all. We're going to do this. This is the best night of the year. It's amazing, and we're going to continue doing it as long as we can.
For Bridge City News, I'm Loris Alexander.
Thank you for that, Loris. Tom Katina is an American missionary doctor who's been working in Africa for over 20 years. He's been hailed the world's most important doctor. He's currently in Sudan, helping those both physically and spiritually. I had a chance to chat with Dr. Katina, and he says there are many challenges there, especially when patients are brought in by the truckloads.
At a nighttime, we'd have truckloads of wounded show up at our gate. And then I was the only doctor here, and we had a couple of clinical officers and some on-the-job trained nurses. That was it. Trying to get through this crowd is very stressful, a very difficult time. But I think this idea about being a missionary, both not only me, but the sisters who are here and the priests, we said, let's pull together and for the sake of the people, let's keep pushing ahead. And, I think with the grace of God, this is what kept us going.
Catch the full interview with Dr. Tom Katina coming up in the second half of our show. People with epilepsy are contributing in a surprising way to research into the brain. Some patients are donating brain tissue that's removed in the course of surgery, allowing scientists to study brain cells while they're still alive. But take note, if you're squeamish, you might want to leave the room for this one.
Straight from the operating room, part of an organ is sent on its way to an eager recipient. But this is not a typical organ donation. The recipient is a team of scientists who go to work analyzing this piece of brain tissue about the size of a lima bean. The research could help pave the way for new treatments for neurological disorders like epilepsy or Alzheimer's.
We can't do any of this work if we don't have a steady supply of research specimens coming from the local hospital.
For the past 5 years, Allen Institute researchers have been collecting samples to build an online atlas of brain cells. But in order to succeed, they need living tissue.
After a person passes away, you wouldn't be able to measure dynamic properties of cells, for example, the electrical activity.
Most of the samples come from epilepsy patients, like Jeanette Hoffman, who volunteered to donate a small piece of their brains while undergoing surgery to treat seizures.
Because of the nature of those surgeries, we're often taking out a small part of normal brain that's next to or over the parts of the brain that are causing seizures. So in order to do these surgeries, that part of the brain is going to be removed regardless, and that offers us the chance to use that brain to advance science.
Hoffman hopes the surgery will eliminate her seizures and help others.
The whole idea of helping someone live a better life, I never thought that I could be that effective. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. So it gives me honor to know that I may help someone's daughter or son or relative to have a better life.
A small contribution to science that could have a lasting impact. Malcolm Ritter, Associated Press.
Lethbridge Pro-Life has hired a Calgary lawyer to fight for the right to have pro-life ads on city buses and bus benches. Up next, Hal Roberts chats with constitutional lawyer Carol Crossan, who discusses the big issue City Council has with the ads and to hear about their fight for free speech. That interview is coming up right after this short break. Stay with us.